The Statue of Liberty wasn't built green. In 1885, it gleamed like a new penny. The transformation took 30 years, and what everyone assumes is decay may be the only reason it's still standing. A French steamship called the Isère entered New York Harbor on June 17, 1885, carrying 214 wooden crates packed with copper plates, iron framework, and the dreams of two nations. Crowds gathered along the docks as the pieces of Liberty Enlightening the World, her official name, were unloaded after a transatlantic voyage. Frédéric Auguste Bartholdi, the sculptor behind the monument, had spent years overseeing its construction in a Paris workshop. Artisans at Gaget, Gautier and Company hammered over 300 thin copper sheets, each about 2.4 millimeters thick, into the sweeping folds of Liberty's robe and the rays of her crown. The metal was left uncoated, gleaming with the reddish brown of a freshly minted penny. The statue's journey wasn't just about art and engineering. It was a gift from France to the United States, meant to celebrate the ideals of freedom and democracy. As the crates arrived, work began to assemble the monument atop a pedestal built with funds raised by American citizens. On October 28, 1886, President Grover Cleveland stood before a sea of onlookers as the finished statue was officially dedicated on Bedloe's Island. Photographs from that day show sunlight glinting off the copper surface, the statue's metallic skin reflecting the harbor's morning light. For those first years, Liberty's color was as bold and bright as the promise she represented. Copper was chosen for the statue's skin with careful intention. Gustave Eiffel, the engineer behind the internal framework, needed a material that was both light and strong enough to withstand the wind and weather of New York Harbor. Thin copper sheets, hammered into shape using the repousse technique, offered the perfect solution. Each panel measures just 2.4 millimeters thick, about the width of two stacked pennies, yet when joined together they create a surface that is both flexible and resilient. The statue's copper skin was crafted from roughly 300 individual panels, shaped in Paris and then shipped across the Atlantic. These sheets were fastened to an iron armature designed by Eiffel, who adapted methods from bridge building to support such a massive sculpture without adding unnecessary weight. The copper's natural ductility allowed artisans to mold it into intricate folds and curves, giving Liberty her lifelike drapery and expressive features. Copper offered more than just artistic freedom. It resists corrosion better than iron or steel, especially in salty, humid air. Over time, copper develops a surface layer that slows further deterioration. This quality meant that the statue could endure harsh winters, sea spray, and storms without constant maintenance. The decision to leave the copper uncoated was not just an aesthetic choice, but a calculated move to let nature provide its own protection. The engineering behind Liberty's skin set the stage for the transformation that would follow, as the statue's color began to change in the decades after her arrival. Rain, wind, salty air, and city smoke all played a part in the statue's transformation. As soon as the copper skin faced the harbor, oxygen in the air reacted with the surface, forming a reddish mineral called cuprite. Over months, this layer deepened to black tenorite, but New York's humid air brought more than just moisture. Sea spray carried chloride ions, while factories pumped sulfur dioxide into the sky. These elements triggered new reactions, creating blue-green minerals like brochantite and finally atacamite. Each step in this slow process added a fresh layer, sealing the metal beneath. The full patina, a dense green shield, took about 35 years to form. What seemed like decay was actually nature building a protective barrier, one mineral at a time. In 1906, Congress approved a bill for $62,000 to paint over Liberty's green surface, hoping to restore her original copper shine. The proposal landed with a thud. Newspapers bristled at the idea, calling it wasteful and even sacrilegious. Engineers and citizens argued that the green was not just harmless, it was a shield. Joseph Mitchell, a prominent contractor, insisted that removing the patina would be vandalism. The public outcry grew loud enough that the plan was scrapped before a single brushstroke. A decade later, the statue faced a far greater threat. On July 30th, 1916, the Black Tom explosion rocked New York Harbor, shattering windows and damaging Liberty's torch and copper plates, yet the green coating held fast, surviving the blast. The patina's resilience, tested by both human debate and violent force, became impossible to ignore. During the centennial restoration from 1984 to 1986, scientists and engineers from the National Park Service took a close look at Liberty's green armor. Decades of interior paint and brittle coatings were stripped away, exposing the original copper skin for the first time in generations. Technicians replaced more than 1,000 corroded iron bars inside the statue with stainless steel, halting the slow creep of rust. Under the microscope, samples from the patina revealed a dense interlocking layer of copper minerals. Laboratory tests confirmed what earlier debates could only guess. The green coating acts as a shield, sealing out moisture and pollutants. The restoration team left the patina untouched, declaring it essential to the statue's preservation. The evidence was clear. Liberty's green skin is not a flaw, but her greatest protection. Every day, millions see a symbol shaped by time and chemistry. It is proof that what protects can also transform. How many other truths are hidden in plain sight? Thanks for watching.